Hey guys, we'll just quickly wait for a few minutes for everyone to join in. Hi, and then we will start with our live session. Hello, how are you guys doing? Okay, I think now we have enough number of people to start the live session. So guys, this is Sejal Jain and I would like you all to be welcomed for the first ever Instagram live session. Yes, we will get started to that. So let me just quickly, one second. One second, guys, there's some error coming here. Yeah, I think now it's fine. So I would like to welcome you all to the session wherein we are going to talk about moha, Save Our Skin series of live session. So this is the launch episode of Moha Save Our Skin live session, which is initiated by very well-known, renowned company which is Charak Pharma. Hi. So this basically SOS, Moha Save Our Skin, is a series of live session which will be conducted every Friday, Saturday and Sunday at 4:30 p.m. And we will be inviting eminent experts from the country all across, the best ones which in the field of dermatology, cosmetology, yoga and Ayurveda to help us solve our skin and hair issues. So today's topic is about hair and I'm gonna invite a very well-known dermatologist and cosmetologist who has an experience of 20 years in the same field, Dr. Malavika Kohli, to join us. I'll request her to do so. Do we have Dr. Kohli? We'll just wait Dr. Kohli to join in. I'm just going to try to get connected to her. Yes. So we'll wait for Dr. Kohli to join in from the Moha page. Hello, doctor.
Hey, how are you, Sejal?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you, and thank you for having me here today, this afternoon.
Pleasure. Like when I heard Dr. Kohli is going to be here to help our viewers solve their problems, we are in the best hands right now.
Thank you. And hi to all your followers, and thank you at the Moha Live for organizing this event. And I think it's a very
I think I lost your voice. Yeah.
I think everybody's losing. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
I think everybody's losing a lot of hair, especially in 2020. Have you noticed in the COVID and post-COVID, there's been so much of hair loss every morning to every night in my clinic and in teleconsults. Everybody's losing hair.
Yeah, I mean,
I lost some hair too.
Talking about it, like Ghar Ghar Ki Kahani, everywhere everyone is talking. I'm on the floor, on the bed, everywhere, people are talking about it. And it's nothing about the gender or age, any age group, and men, women equally are, complaining of same.
Just that's so true. And children too.
Yeah.
Young children to kids and everybody, and it's not just to do with hormones or something else. It's just a general trend that has picked up in this year, but it's been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. Number of hair loss cases we see has really increased. It's been an increasing trend.
Yeah. And I think now to even more these things will happen because the winter has started. Like we have a nip in the temperature, little fall, and we a little bit of dryness even in Mumbai. And so with the hair, like there is dry scalp, dandruff, hair fall, all on the increasing verge. So would you suggest any special treatment or what you should take care during winters for your hair?
Sure, of course. So the first thing is that I think one needs to avoid having a very hot water shower. because the hot water, in winters you feel like having a hot water shower, and then you tend to have a long shower, and that is very dehydrating for the hair. Secondly, hair that is wet and warm both breaks more easily. So when you're grooming your hair after your hair wash, you're grooming it, you're combing it, or whatever. If it's very hot water and it's very wet, the hair will break, and then you won't realize it, but you'll have all that frizziness then. That's when the frizziness starts. The other thing is that in winter, I would suggest that you don't need to wash your hair that often. Even 2-3 times a week is okay, because you're not producing so much of oil on your scalp unless you're working out every day and your scalp is getting very greasy, or you have an itchy scalp. Then you should wash every alternate day. Others, you can reduce it to 3 times a week. And if you have dry hair and dry scalp, you can even do it twice a week. Then I think in winter, it's very good to start oiling the scalp a little more often. No, would you agree?
Yeah, I think I'm going to come to this only, that does oiling really help, and should we move, because I have personally, felt the need of it because it's of the dryness. I feel with oiling, it might get more nourished. So any specific things you should look for in the oil or something like that?
Sure. So actually my favorite is a combination of coconut oil and almond oil. So the virgin cold pressed coconut oil, almond oil. But you also get combinations with hibiscus and argan oil and rosemary oil, coconut, almond oil. Like Moha has this great 5-in-1 hair oil.
Yeah,
Have you tried it? Have you tried it?
Yeah, I just kept it handy also to show it to our viewers, because I just chopped my hair. So I was like, I want to grow them really fast, and I don't know what to do. Always after you chop your hair, you feel the requirement to go back to your actual length. Same thing happened with me, and I was like, it's used, as you can see, I've started using it couple of days, and it have like coconut, almond, jojoba, rosemary, like you said. These things, I'm sure, like I feel the texture to be really nice. Like you can see the shine. I've been oily.
Exactly. So you know what I did also? I've also used this oil. There are 2-3 things that I really liked about it. One is not that greasy. Somebody's asking if it's greasy. It's not that greasy. 2 tablespoons. If you take just 2 tablespoons of the oil, and what I'd suggest is, if your scalp is sensitive, and I don't like rubbing the oil in and then rubbing it in the shower, then that dries out the hair all over again.
Okay.
So what I do is, I take 2 tablespoons and I take a cotton pad and then just dab it into your scalp, or very lightly with your fingertips dab it in. It's not very greasy. You can leave it on, put it in your hair, and put a steaming towel for about 20 minutes. And then, so that helps it to get absorbed, no? So coconut oil has this wonderful property of being able to penetrate into your cuticle. As it penetrates into the cuticle, it will carry the hibiscus, which is repair. The hibiscus has a repair property. Rosemary has very good for the scalp health. Argan, as you know, is very good. So all these, the mixture of this combination, 5-in-1 combination, is for repair, soothing, and hydration.
Wow.
So when you put that steaming towel on your scalp and then you leave it on for 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes later you can have a cool, a moderately warm shower, not too hot, not too cool. And then, just wash it off with one shampoo. So you could use even the moha Herbal shampoo is nice. It's quite gentle. Have you tried the shampoo out?
Yes, it smells also really nice. Like you feel very fresh after, washing it with this. It doesn't have any chemicals or something, so it feels good. Yeah. So,
one thing, and one thing I agree with you. One thing that I like about the shampoo is that the shampoo actually has, it's clear. It's a clear shampoo. It's not a creamy shampoo.
Right.
So it's very good to use a clear shampoo because you don't want residue. So it removes the oil very nicely. Doesn't dry out. It's in a gentle base, and it's a clear shampoo, so there's no residue. So you can condition also very nicely. Put your hair serum. So you can use the whole set of those products very nicely as part of your winter hair care.
That's great. Thank you for the suggestion for whole winter. We are prepped for winter, I guess, now.
You're prepped for winter.
Yes, but what about dandruff? Like, how do you control that itchiness in the scalp and dandruff, which actually happens because of the dryness of the scalp?
Yeah. So what I would say is, first is For dryness of scalp due to winter, yeah, all this which we said will help. But sometimes the scalp is itchy because it is, you're chemically treating it, blow drying it, or, you don't wash it that often, or
Right.
there is a fungal buildup, fungal and
Oh, yeah.
bacterial buildup. So what happens is on our scalp, we have a certain normal amount of fungus and bacteria on our scalp. When they cross 40%, okay, then the scalp starts feeling itchy. So what makes it cross 40%? If there's residue buildup, for example, you're not using the correct shampoo or shampoo. So your shampoo is too creamy, too much of conditioner in it. You've got a sweaty scalp. You're not able to remove the dirt and grease. So the buildup makes you gather more fungus and bacteria. Then you start getting dana and those boils and feel itchy and flaky. So that's why clear shampoo is good. That's why it's important to use a shampoo with not too much of a conditioning shampoo can build up more residue. And then you can use a medicated shampoo.
Okay. To treat the fungal infection, and then,
Yeah. And I'd like to tell, so many people have joined in. It's fantastic, the response is that I'd like to tell them that they should use a medicated shampoo only for the scalp. They should use it to wash their hair.
Oh, yeah.
So the first step is to wash your hair with your normal shampoo, rinse it off, then take the medicated shampoo so much, massage it into your scalp all the way, leave it on, for 3 to 5 minutes, have your body bath and rinse it off.
Awesome, awesome. So
And then condition your hair. Condition your hair last. These are the 3 steps to follow, yeah.
Yeah, and serum also works like after conditioning, like for frizziness and stuff, because some people are asking about how to control frizz and split ends and stuff like that.
Sure. So, the best way to control split ends and frizz is a couple of things. One, when you come out of the shower, towel dry your hair. Don't start putting a brush or comb right through it. That's the worst thing to do. Wet hair is weak, it breaks easily, and then it gets frizzy. So my suggestion would be, come out, towel dry your hair this way. Don't towel dry it this way. Don't shampoo all your hair on top this way. Just wash your hair, towel dry it this way, and then take the Herbal hair serum. Moha has a nice hair serum, which is very lubricating. It's got water lily oil. It's got flaxseed oil. It's got it's got some nice and hibiscus.
Would like to try that out, yeah.
Yeah, so just take a few drops. It's quite rich. Do this and then just blend it into your hair. Just blend it into your hair and then leave it wet. And when it's half dry, half wet, then I would say make sections. And after you make sections, comb it down and detangle your hair and then just let it naturally dry. Or you can just blast dry your hair after putting the serum and then leave a little moisture behind and then take 2-3 drops of the serum and put it in your hair again, which is still a little moist. So the serum and the moisture holds onto your hair. It'll keep it also looking straight. That's what actually I did just before coming on live with you.
Yeah, they're looking actually straight. Like I thought you've done ironing or something, but this magic what you're talking about, like process steps.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told you is exactly what I've done. And this is like freshly washed, 2 hours ago, and no dry, no, just a light blast dry, no iron, no nothing.
So that's great. I think I'm going to travel soon and hair have been very frizzy. Can you recommend good oil and home remedies? I think that's what we've covered right now, correct? Any home remedies for that? Like someone is asking about something, you can do it at home for this.
Yeah, actually, at home, you can pick up a good, you can pick up a good DIY hair mask.
Yeah.
So I think that
tested already, you can do it at home. Like that is one of the thing. Yeah, and DIY hair masks, that works. Yeah.
I like these, the ones that come in a shower cap. There are these ones that come in a shower cap. So you wash your hair, you shampoo it. After you shampoo it, you don't put any conditioner. You just open the towel dry it, just take off the extra water, open this shower cap, wear it like a shower cap, it has a band on top, and massage it with your fingertips through the shower cap. Leave the shower cap on for about 15-20 minutes, just rinse it off. It just super softens your hair. It's like just doing like a home conditioning, deep conditioning treatment. So the Koreans and even otherwise, the lots of the DIY hair masks, they all have that same concept. So it's deep conditioning.
Deep conditioning. Talking about conditioner, someone said, can I use conditioner for dandruff ridden hair? Yeah, that is also one of the myth. Like very many people say, that it makes your hair greasy and all if you condition a lot or something like that. So what's your thought about it? Like,
Yeah.
should
So if you have dandruff, sorry. If you have dandruff, you could either have it because, it's interesting. You can either have dandruff because of a greasy scalp, or you can have dandruff because of a dry scalp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both ways.
Both ways.
But your hair itself can still be dry. The reason why your hair can be dry is because it could be chemically treated from color, from blow drying, from cysteine, from QOD, from keratin. So you have to, if you have dandruff with dry hair, then you should treat the dandruff separately with the medicated shampoo, and treat your wash and take care of your hair care products should be suited for your hair type. Whether it's chemically treated, colored hair, normal hair, you should use the hair care products for the hair type. And if you have dandruff, use a medicated shampoo for the dandruff. So if it's so if it's a dry scalp, then we can use a bit of salicylic acid. If it's an oily scalp, also salicylic acid. Dry scalps, you can use tar-based shampoos. Oily scalps, you can use ketoconazole-based shampoos.
Great. So, talking about that, what you like, we mentioned about dandruff, we spoke about frizziness, we spoke about a lot of things which are happening because hair fall. So, do you recommend any supplements, to take for hair fall, or any kind of suggestions which you can avoid to get more hair fall? Like,
Supplements? Yeah, of course. There are a good number of supplements. So, Sejal, I'd like to, because I know you're very into all this, I'd like to specify that, you'll agree with me. There are the macronutrients and the micronutrients.
correct.
And there are the probiotics, because we know that gut health is very important. We all know that our hair is a barometer to good health.
Yeah.
If you have good hair, you know that your insides are also healthy, that you're eating right, you're absorbing. So, the gut health is very important because it means that you're absorbing everything that you eat. There's no point just eating and not absorbing it.
Correct. That's true.
So the macronutrients are your B12, your ferritin, your D3, and your micronutrients are curcumin, CoQ, amino acids. You could also, have the other one, grapeseed, green tea. All of these are also very important micronutrients. Omega-3 is also a very important macronutrient. Soy is very important.
That's nice. Yeah. All those are proteins for hair and vitamins and stuff.
Yeah, and to improve gut health, you need to take probiotics, but you also need to take, sometimes some people have very poor digestion, they do very well with, and have poor absorption, so they're eating everything, taking their vitamins, but they still don't seem to have good levels. They do very well with lactoferrin and colostrum. These are two new things which help in better digestion and better absorption.
Oh, nice. That's when I think we really require to see a dermatologist or someone who's an expert in hair, and treat all these things, because that is what we miss sometimes. And just tell me then, what are the tests to
The tests?
understand? Is there any test available to address, there is any internal, like what we spoke about, all these issues?
Yeah. Sure. So the first thing you need to do is your B12, ferritin, D3. These are the vitamin tests. Then sometimes you can have a zinc deficiency. So zinc comes from nuts and seeds and dals and things like that. So sometimes you may need to do your zinc. If you really have some major problems, like along with hair problems, you have skin problems, you may need to do your zinc. But generally ferritin, B12, D3 are important. You may also have to check if there's any hormonal imbalance. So if you have PCOS, then your insulin levels, your testosterone levels. Prolactin is a very important one, because, what's happened in COVID, I've noticed, and even in general, if you notice, there are two types of people. Some are super healthy, and then some just let go. And there's some who are in between, finding that zone. But what's common to all, almost everybody doesn't seem to have a good sleep pattern.
Same.
You too.
I don't sleep only. I don't know why. And there are so many times I feel like I'm getting insomnia, like totally. I don't know why the sleep thing is there. Like you
Yeah.
have yourself enough the whole day, but still suddenly you wake up at 3 and then there is no sleep. Like that is what is happening with me.
Oh, so shall I tell you why that's happening?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So why that's happening is because we have a natural sleep rhythm, and the 12 midnight to 4 a.m. sleep is the most important repair sleep. So
Okay.
one, if you sleep too late and miss that 12 o'clock sleep, which starts the REM, the deep sleep, then you are missing out on the repair sleep. So however late you may sleep in, 12, 1 o'clock you get up, it just doesn't compensate for that sleep. So you never feel refreshed. Two is that, you have to realize that the body has a certain rhythm. So when you lose that rhythm of sleeping, the body is sort of confused. And if you have super hectic days, like, you're doing your Insta, you're blogging, you're working out, you're eating right, you're having your coffee, and you're getting very edgy, then
Yeah.
there's so much adrenaline in your body that when you go to sleep, say at 11 or 12 or 1, you are actually just resting. Your body needs to sleep, but it's only resting. So suddenly you get up at 3 o'clock because your adrenaline is still pumping. That's really bad in the end because you're actually secreting more cortisol. And when you start
Okay.
secreting more cortisol, all the negative effects start coming in the body, right?
Yeah.
So bloating, belly fat, the hair cycle gets confused. So how does that come to hair? The hair cycle gets confused. And the hair cycle says, oh my God, I don't know whether I should be growing or resting or falling or sleeping. So let's
Yeah.
fall.
Let's fall. That's the
Let's
easiest.
fall. Let's give this person a shock. Let's tell this person,
You need
please
to.
pay attention. I'm there.
Yeah.
So that's why sleep is so important.
Yes, yes. So it's all about what you have it inside, and then what you give it inside is what is going to show up in your hair.
Yeah.
Like, look, that's going to show up your hair.
Receive
Oh,
and pour.
yes, yes. Okay. So another question which I could see is regarding hair color. Now, hair coloring and bleaching is being trending nowadays. Now, few
Yeah.
years now. So is it good to do that, and would it actually lead to a lot of hair fall? Do you should avoid it, or you should take care of it in particular way if you really want to do it? Please throw some light on this.
Okay, sure. Tell me what's your take on it. I'd love to know your take.
See, I personally did not go for hair color for a lot of years, thinking that it might damage my hair. But then, of course, once you want to get in trend and you tend to do this, I did it, and with proper care, like oiling, shampooing, conditioning, you definitely uh, tend to not have such damage. Like if you don't take care of it, definitely you will have damage because you have given chemicals to your hair. It's like it's not something which is natural to hair, so it's
Yeah.
like that. But if you take care of it, then yes, you're going to. And if you tend to grow your hair, like if your length is like, suppose I colored my hair here, like the ends of it, so my hair started growing once I started oiling and all that. So I went for a haircut, and now I know the haircut has happened, the damaged hair or whatever, because the lockdown, we could not trim our hair for a year, like almost 9 months, 10 months. So that is one thing which has actually caused little bit extra damage to the hair, which otherwise wouldn't have been. So yeah,
Right.
by taking care, you can definitely manage it, I would say. But if you are like really not taking care of it, you will fall on a worse side. That's what
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're very right. I mean, I would agree that, you have to take care of your hair on a regular basis. There's no question about it. The reason you're taking care is because it's a living structure.
Hmm.
It's aesthetic, but it's also a living structure. So, yes, you must trim it regularly. You know what happens when you trim your hair? When you trim your hair, you're giving the signal to the hair follicle that there's a change.
Yes.
So the hair follicle responds by growing,
Correct.
right? It wants to make up. So
Mm-hmm.
it grows. So there was a question over here which said that how can I make my hair grow longer? So and a lot of people say it just stops out here.
Mm-hmm.
It just stops out here and it never seems to grow longer. A lot of
Yeah.
people feel that way. So one thing is that you should remember that the growth cycle has to be longer for your hair to grow longer. For the growth cycle to remain longer, you need a good antioxidant diet, with red, green, yellow, orange every day in your diet. So something green, something red, something yellow, something orange. You must have your omega-3. So sometimes it will be avocado, sometimes it could be walnuts. Your seeds are very good. So these all will help to get your hair the correct nutrition. So the growth cycle needs that signal that you have enough nourishment. That way it will grow. One very new ingredient which is good for what we call anagen growth cycle is resveratrol, berries.
Okay.
So your grapes, your berries, these are very good for signaling anagen cycle. Yeah. Now, remember one thing, if you don't have a healthy scalp, you'll never be able to have good anagen, right?
Yes.
You'll never have a good growth cycle if your scalp is unhealthy. So if you have one question asked about dandruff again, if you have an unhealthy scalp, even just simple application of a nice oil with tea tree oil, neem oil, moha kachari oil.
Okay.
It's tea tree, neem, japa, and kapur kachari oil. And this combination helps to is antifungal. So the minute you have less fungal infection on your scalp, less irritation, you will have a healthier scalp. No residue, it won't choke up the hair follicles. If it doesn't choke up the hair follicles will grow. So these are the natural ways, right? And then of course cycle will also depends on your diet and exercise. Hormones play a big role. So I agree with you, grooming your hair even every 3 months, taking care of it. And one thing, my mother taught me, she taught me you should comb your hair every morning and every night. So she said, as soon as you get up, because when she taught me to part it in sections and comb it, because she says you're helping to spread the natural oils down the entire length, and you're also massaging the scalp with a gentle comb or a gentle brush. And she said at night also, when you do that and go to sleep, you're stimulating the growth cycle.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're stimulating the scalp. So such simple advice, right?
Yeah.
And she had beautiful
Moms
hair.
know it all.
Moms know it all.
Yeah.
They're never wrong.
I'm gonna start doing that. I was not doing that while sleeping. Before sleeping, that thing I'll do that. Yeah, that actually stimulates. Yeah, because you're actually slightly kind of
stimulating, massaging, giving a good signal to the scalp, and you're also lubricating the scalp and you're helping all those oils to flow. So what happens is you don't get a buildup out here, which is irritating to the scalp. You should never have an itchy scalp. If you have an itchy scalp, you need to treat it. Either use this oil that we mentioned about, the moha oil, which is very nice, or you can just even use it for 20 minutes before your wash. You don't have to leave it overnight.
Okay.
So this is useful.
Yeah, this is definitely useful. The tips are really useful as well. The mom tip as well.
Yeah, mom tip always works.
Right, nice. Other question which just pops in my head is about sulfate-free shampoos. We have heard it all, like everyone is talking about after especially coloring the hair, or even if not coloring, that sulfate-free shampoos are good for your scalp, good for your hair. So is it really helpful? What exactly all this thing is about, sulfate-free?
Sure. I think it's a very, very important question we need to answer, because it's become so popular that suddenly we don't know whether should, you get frightened. Am I doing the wrong thing by using a shampoo with sulfate? So let's understand what is the sulfate do. First of all, you have laureth sulfate and you have lauryl sulfate. So laureth sulfate is detergent based shampoos which contain laureth sulfate. Lauryl sulfate means that your shampoo has less detergent. Now, why do we want detergent in a shampoo? Because you want it to lather, right? Yeah. You want it to lather to degrease. Now, if you know us Indians, we Indians love lather. Jhaag aata hai to we feel very अच्छा साफ हो रहा है, अच्छा साफ हो गया kind of feeling, But when you put too much detergent, then you're going to dry the hair out. You're going to make the shampoo too alkaline. So alkaline shampoos are not good. So you want to make the shampoo less alkaline and less unnecessarily drying and unnecessary detergent base. So the reduced detergent is also fine. And then you have sulfate free. Now, let's understand three things. Yeah. So if you use, suppose you're a child who's playing games, you're playing sports, or you just have this thick hair with a very oily scalp. You know, some people have a really thick bush with a very kuch jata hi nahi andar. The scalp was always like feeling not clean.
Yeah.
Then you can wash twice. If so, you're washing your 3 times a week. You can alternate. You can use a sulfate free, then a sulfate, then a sulfate free, then a sulfate. So that at least the sulfate shampoo can clean you properly. Otherwise, you're scrubbing and rubbing, you know, your scalp super hard. And that's also not good for your hair. It dehydrates and damages your hair. So if you use a reduced sulfate shampoo, it'll be less harsh. So somebody who's doesn't have such an oily scalp, doesn't have, you know, has finer hair, can also use a reduced sulfate. Now, sulfate free is basically for those who have chemically treated hair, sensitive scalps, or have, so chemically treated could be color, could be keratin, could be QOD, could be cysteine, could be Brazilian blowout, could be express, could be blah blah blah. You know, it goes on, the list goes on. So I would suggest, so simply put now, I would suggest a sulfate free shampoo is good for those who have chemically free treated hair, because you cannot wash out that treatment. The sulfate strips the treatment off, and you can use it for sensitive scalp. Kids, people with thick oily scalps can use sulfate containing shampoos, reduced or normal, but maybe they can alternate it so they don't get too harsh.
I think they have habit to even oil too so much, like, you know, like I've seen kids in the school like with a lot of oil. There has to be a quantity determined, I guess, to use it. That's why you can wash it properly.
Balance, yeah. That's why I said 2 tablespoons of oil.
Yeah,
and then one shampoo, but you have thick, greasy hair, not washed it, then 2 shampoos. But don't pile your hair all on top, and don't pile your hair all on top when you wash it, because then you're entangling it. It's better to wash this way.
All right. I also got a DM last night when I put up the story that if you have dandruff, then do you need to wash your hair more often as compared to like otherwise?
You could, because you need to degrease, or you need to take those flakes off, or you need to keep your scalp healthier. But by washing more often, you may not necessarily treat the dandruff. You're just getting rid of the surface. So a medicated shampoo is worthwhile with either ketoconazole, cyclopyroxolamine, salicylic acid, tar. These are the things
Correct. Yeah.
that you could use to chemically, I beg your pardon, to treat the dandruff. Not just washing it, but also treating the dandruff. So what are you doing by treating the dandruff? Taking the scales off, you're reducing the fungus, and you're reducing the bacteria. So you're reducing buildup. So your scalp is healthier. So it'll grow better. The follicles will get better nutrition. Your anagen will be better. Your length will be better. Each strand will be better. Volume will be better. And you'll be happy.
Yeah. Hair will be also happy because overall
hair is also feeling happy. Yeah, so bounces better.
Yeah. So there are a few questions if how to reverse heat damage. Like, is there any way to reverse heat damage?
So yeah, I think heat damage is something that, let's face it, your hair is damaged, right? So you cannot reverse it completely, but you will have to do a lot of smoothening treatments that rebuild the cuticle. So what's happened with heat damaged hair? This is the cuticle, right? The cuticle is like this. It's overlapping, right? On the hair follicle, it overlaps. When you have heat damaged hair, means it's got like that. There are gaps. So it's fragile, it's frail, breaks easily, correct? So if you do anything to rebuild the cuticle this way, so those are your smoothening treatments, your hair masks, the oils like coconut oil, because it can penetrate. That's why all the moha oils have coconut base in them.
Yeah.
Either olive, almond, or coconut. These are the 3 repair oils, of which coconut has the best repair property for cuticle. So that's why you need to use all these products which can repair the cuticle and smoothen it out again.
Yes.
So that's how you can, and of course you can do some smoothening treatments. There's so many smoothening treatments available today. There's the Olaplex, and there's the, the other, um, the Fusiodose, and all those which you can do at a salon.
Yeah.
There's so many of those treatments but then those you have to keep going every 2 weeks. So if you want to do something at home, if you want to do something at home, then my suggestion would be use the hair oil before the wash. The moha hair oil is a very nice soothing the scalp. If you have dandruff, then use the anti-dandruff hair oil. If you have a scalp which has dandruff, then wash your hair with the normal the herbal shampoo, but use the anti-dandruff shampoo for the scalp. Then you can use the conditioner. The conditioner is nice actually. The conditioner also has some water lily, and it's got all these, rosemary,
Aloe vera and jojoba, all that thing.
aloe vera, jojoba.
For sulfate-free shampoo and something, I think this is something you can go for literally. They have a good amount of all these nutritive oils and presence of Brahma oil and I think almond oil.
Brahmi, Bringraj. Yeah, so these are repair, like you're saying, they're repair.
Yeah.
And then you can, but I think that serum, the herbal hair serum, that's a great product to use in on wet hair. So sometimes if your hair is very weak and it's falling very badly, my suggestion would be oil it. Then after that, if you don't want to oil also, that's fine. Sometimes, when you oil, your hair falls more, you get really nervous. So then just wash your hair gently with cool water. Don't even put conditioner, towel dry it, and put the serum in your hair.
Okay.
Okay, and then when it's almost, because you're holding the water, and then when it's almost dry, just a little moisture is left, you can then put the serum again, and that will strengthen your dry, weak hair, even at home. Because now in lockdown, we really don't, it's post-lockdown, but we really don't want to go to a salon all the time, right?
You would want to do things at home, like everyone is trying to do lots of things at home. Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah. Great. So,
what about some graying? What about graying? Do you have any thoughts on graying?
Yeah, I mean, see, little weird nowadays. Premature graying we are talking about, if it's nothing related to age, again everyone is, because of whatever the weather or the chemicals they have used, the graying is like instant. I mean, at early age also what we are seeing, and rapid changes like we have seen in some, and coloring the hair also might cause the graying of hair. Yeah, so how do we manage that?
So I would put it this way, that we are seeing a lot of graying in nowadays. A lot of graying of hair nowadays. Yeah. So and you're right. You're seeing it in children. You're seeing it in young people. So I would say that premature graying, we know if it's genetic, it's hereditary. We all know.
Yes.
All know about that. That you really can't do too much. What are the other causes? One is deficiency of selenium, copper, and manganese. These are minerals, and these comes in your nuts and seeds. That's why nuts and seeds are so good. Nuts, seeds, dals, raisins, currants. These are what have these minerals. So it's very good to have these in your diet. Or you can take a vitamin. When you're taking a vitamin, make sure it has a bit of selenium, manganese, and copper. Okay. So these are responsible for the melanin production in your hair follicle.
Okay.
So diet plays a role. Second is hormones. Girls with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, they are known now, it's published, that they gray earlier.
Okay.
So there is some hormonal influence also. And then there's, of course, stress. And then is, of course, chemicals. Yes, also, so some people feel it's because of low calcium. That's an old concept. And also some people find that they swim a lot because of chlorine.
Yeah, hard water and chlorinated water. And hereditary as well? That also causes...
Hereditary for sure. That's something you can't run away from. But in children, if when the hair starts turning gray, it'll be silvery first. So if anybody, even adults, find that the hair is not that, that pure white, but it's silvery gray and half.
Yeah.
That means there's some deficiency.
Oh, that's the way
So
you can differentiate. Yeah.
yeah, and then you can start your vitamins, and then you can naturally, after you start your vitamins, you can sometimes at least not allow the other hair to turn gray, and the silvery gray hair can remain silvery, or even better, they grow out better.
Great. That also is
So
awesome.
sometimes you can help. Not everybody, but sometimes. And there
Yeah.
are dedicated hair vitamins for gray hair. There's some dedicated lotions also for gray hair. Okay, but honestly, that I'm not so sure how much it works.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost on the verge of, ending the session. I would like to know your one mantra for hair care. Like, what would you recommend to all your patients coming to you for, like, this is something you need to basically do, basis of hair care.
Okay. So the first thing I would tell all my patients is that you got to take care of your hair. If you're blessed, you're lucky, but then take care. If you're not blessed, it's worth taking care of what you have and improve on it. So for that, and you got to prioritize it. For that, you should find the right products. Like for your skin, when you find the right products, you always stick to them. Don't experiment too much. And remember, some people's hair is ammonia sensitive, some people's hair is heat sensitive. So don't experiment too much. And if you want to experiment, start doing it at the ends. Like that balayage and ombre and all that. Start at the ends. See whether it works for you or not. Then start putting a lot of color. Another thing I always tell my patients is that, this one habit that has developed, you'll agree with me, Sejal,
Yeah.
pre-lockdown for sure, everybody was going twice a week to a salon, getting their hair washed. Everybody stopped washing at home. And they were just getting this blow dry, which would last 4 or 5 days. And so they were super happy. They looked super groomed all the time. But washing at the salon regularly, blow drying regularly, you begin to forget your own hair, your own natural hair.
Yes.
So you have to, yeah. So give breathing space to your hair. Groom it. Use good quality products. Groom it. You can style it. When you want to do, when you go out a lot, you want to style it all the time. Then style the
Yeah.
ends. Like wash your hair, blast dry it, and then tong the ends. If you want to get the front up, put some rollers, get the bounce, and do that real strong blow dry only for a really big event or something personal or a wedding or something like that. So I think you should minimize chemical heat, take good care, don't and comb your hair. Most teenagers just shampoo their hair and leave it. They comb it. They don't comb it only.
Yeah.
So the hair gets entangled. It forgets its own fall, and take good vitamins. Diet, of course, we all know.
Yeah.
That we all know. And it's important to recognize there were a couple of questions that flew by about thinning. So it's
Yeah.
important to recognize that when you're thinning, so thinning pattern is always either in the front, the temples,
Yeah.
here, or this is the what we call the vertex or the crown. Yeah,
Yeah.
the vertex and the crown. So if you begin to find that this area is thinning a lot more, so you can have different patterns. You can have this pattern, you can have this pattern, you can have the whole thing. So depending on the grade of thinning and how soon you notice it. So that becomes what we call patterned hair loss or pattern hair loss. That's female pattern and male pattern. That is balding. So that we have to differentiate as a whole different set. For that, you must immediately seek a dermatologist or a trichologist, or go and get a good opinion to check. There are very many ways to check how bad is your thinning, how bad is your balding, what you can do. Lots of new treatments like PRP and skin micrographs and lots of new things for regrowing even balding hair. And for girls, if there's a hormonal problem, you got to even look at that. So
Look into.
balding is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole different talk. One day we'll have a chat just on that.
Yeah. I think we can have a topic chat on that as well. All right. Would you like to end up with some other concern, or have you covered all the concerns, majorly what you must have been seeing in the clinic coming in for hair concerns, basic hair care, hair problems?
Yeah, I think maybe the last thing we've really covered everything, but I think the last thing maybe is how often somebody asked about hair smoothing. Basically, my
Yeah.
question was how often should one go to a salon?
Ha!
Good one?
Very good one.
So I'll tell you what. According to me, you can go to a salon once a month is good. Once in
Good
15
enough.
days is good. Sure, I mean every woman needs to go to the salon once a month, and every 15 days, nice to go and get maybe a smoothening or just a nice good hair wash. Like you can ask the person to give you a good hair wash with a good deep conditioning treatment, because there's a lot of environmental pollution, wear and tear, AC. So one good deep conditioning treatment, and once a month, whatever other grooming you want to do, cut, color, whatever, that all I think is fair. That's fair. But twice a week to go for the rest of your life, you're gonna end up not recognizing your hair. So you know what happened to a lot of people in lockdown? When they couldn't go, they were like, "Oh my God, doc, this is my hair. I never knew it was like this. It's so bad."
Yeah.
So we should take care.
A lot of reality check and a lot of care to be taken. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
but I loved all your questions, and I think we managed to cover a lot and give a lot of good, sensible, practical tips, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the questions which came up in live audience were also very important for everyone to know, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
agree. They were great questions.
yeah, exactly. Very to the point. And these tips and facts, whatever you mentioned, were like very, very informative and very, I think it's going to be in use personally as well as to all the viewers. I'm sure they enjoyed the session. And it was lovely, 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 lovely. I was so excited to see you and, talk to you about all these things. I'm so happy
Yes,
that,
same here.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it was lovely, lovely, and to interact with you and to know from you what your and to know from your followers what they feel about hair, and I think we all feel the same. So I
Yeah.
think we're all sailing in the same boat, and we're all looking for the best possible hair with a good crowning glory.
Yeah.
And yeah, here's to better hair care, and here's to thanking the Moha Life and looking forward to their products. And I think they've got a good set of
Yeah.
good something. All their products have a differentiating factor. If you notice, each one has a differentiating factor. Like the oil has the hibiscus, or there's the water lily, or there's the tea tree, or that japa and the other one. So I think they've got a good differentiating factor. So
And because they are herbal and because they are very, anyone and everyone can use it. Like, it's not like, mass can use it without any problems of having any hazards, side effects, or something like that. Yeah.
they're gentle. They're
Yeah.
gentle.
They're
So
gentle.
great. So
Great.
look
Yeah.
forward to knowing that your hair is staying good and all everybody else's.
I'll post you
Take
about
care.
it. Definitely. I'll keep posting about it.
Yeah. Let
Thank
hair be the crowning glory.
Yes.
And there is this. I'll end by saying that there's this famous saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is my I've made it up, but it's my favorite saying
Mm-hmm.
that you can never be too thin,
Mm-hmm.
you can never be too rich, but you
Mm-hmm.
can never have enough hair. You always want more
I think that's very true. Like,
hair.
oh, I need it longer, I need it thicker, I need it denser, everything. Yes.
Yeah. So
Great.
with that, I think we'll always aspire to have like a better hair all the time, and so I think we can do it. We can do it. I think we can have the best hair.
Stay
Can be the
positive.
best. We can have the best version of our own hair.
That's true. That's true. That's an amazing point. Great. Thank you so much. Looking forward to see you again very soon with other queries and other concerns.
Sure. Me too. Look forward. Look forward. And thank you
Thank
everybody, and thank you the Moha Life, and lots of love to you, Sejal.
Lots of love
Had a
to you.
fabulous time.
Same here.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, guys, it was a great session with Dr. Malavika Kohli, and I really got a lot of knowledge and information. And I'm sure you guys also enjoyed the session and solved all your queries and concern. Stay tuned for tomorrow as well. We have Dr. Manisha Mishra, who has 20 years of rich practice in Ayurveda, and she's gonna address to our issues of hair fall, dandruff, premature growing, all in Ayurveda manner. So stay tuned and see you live tomorrow, same time, 4:30. Thank you. Bye-bye.